Leviticus 21. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Speak to Aaron's sons, the priests, and tell them that a priest is not to defile himself for a dead person among his people, except for his immediate family, his mother, father, son, daughter, or brother, or his unmarried sister who is near to him, since she has no husband. He is not to defile himself for those related to him by marriage, and so profane himself. Priests must not make bald spots on their heads, shave off the edges of their beards, or make cuts in their bodies. They must be holy to their God, and not profane the name of their God, because they present to the Lord the food offerings, the food of their God. They must be holy. A priest must not marry a woman defiled by prostitution or divorced by her husband, for the priest is holy to his God. You are to regard him as holy, since he presents the food of your God. He shall be holy to you, because I, the Lord, am holy, I who set you apart. If a priest's daughter defiles herself by prostituting herself, she profanes her father. She must be burned in the fire. The priest who is highest among his brothers, who has had the anointing oil poured on his head, and has been ordained to wear the priestly garments, must not let his hair hang loose or tear his garments. He must not go near any dead body. He must not defile himself, even for his father or mother. He must not leave or desecrate the sanctuary of his God, for the consecration of the anointing oil of his God is on him. I am the Lord. The woman he marries must be a virgin. He is not to marry a widow, a divorced woman, or one defiled by prostitution. He is to marry a virgin from his own people, so that he does not defile his offspring among his people. For I am the Lord who sanctifies him. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Say to Aaron, for the generations to come, none of your descendants who has a physical defect may approach to offer the food of his God. No man who has any defect may approach. No man who is blind, lame, disfigured, or deformed. No man who has a broken foot or hand, or who is a hunchback or dwarf, or who has an eye defect, a festering rash, scabs, or a crushed testicle. No descendant of Aaron the priest who has a defect shall approach to present the food offerings to the Lord. Since he has a defect, he is not to come near to offer the food of his God. He may eat the most holy food of his God as well as the holy food, but because he has a defect, he must not go near the veil or approach the altar, so as not to desecrate my sanctuaries. For I am the Lord who sanctifies them." Moses told this to Aaron and his sons, and to all the Israelites. Leviticus 22. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron and his sons to treat with respect the sacred offerings that the Israelites have consecrated to me, so that they do not profane my holy name. I am the Lord. Tell them that for the generations to come, if any of their descendants in a state of uncleanness approaches the sacred offerings that the Israelites consecrate to the Lord, that person must be cut off from my presence. I am the Lord. If a descendant of Aaron has a skin disease or a discharge, he may not eat the sacred offerings until he is clean. Whoever touches anything defiled by a corpse, or by a man who has an emission of semen, or whoever touches a crawling creature, or a person that makes him unclean, whatever the uncleanness may be, the man who touches any of these will remain unclean until evening. He must not eat from the sacred offerings unless he has bathed himself with water. When the sun has set, he will become clean, and then he may eat from the sacred offerings, for they are his food. He must not eat anything found dead or torn by wild animals, which would make him unclean. I am the Lord. The priests must keep my charge, lest they bear the guilt and die because they profane it. I am the Lord who sanctifies them. No one outside a priest's family may eat the sacred offering, nor may the guest of a priest or his hired hand eat it. But if a priest buys a slave with his own money, or if a slave is born in his household, that slave may eat his food. If the priest's daughter is married to a man other than a priest, she is not to eat of the sacred contributions. But if a priest's daughter with no children becomes widowed or divorced and returns to her father's house, she may share her father's food as in her youth, but no outsider may share it. If anyone eats a sacred offering in error, he must add a fifth to its value and give the sacred offering to the priest. The priests must not profane the sacred offerings that the Israelites present to the Lord, by allowing the people to eat the sacred offerings, and thus to bear the punishment for guilt. For I am the Lord who sanctifies them. Then the Lord said to Moses, Speak to Aaron and his sons and all the Israelites, and tell them, Any man of the house of Israel or any foreign resident who presents a gift for a burnt offering to the Lord, whether to fulfill a vow or as a free will offering, must offer an unblemished male from the cattle, sheep, or goats, in order for it to be accepted on your behalf. You must not present anything with a defect, because it will not be accepted on your behalf. When a man presents a peace offering to the Lord from the herd or flock to fulfill a vow or as a free will offering, it must be without blemish or defect to be acceptable. You are not to present to the Lord any animal that is blind, injured, or maimed, or anything with a running sore, a festering rash, or a scab. You must not put any of these on the altar as a food offering to the Lord. You may present as a free will offering an ox or sheep that has a deformed or stunted limb, but it is not acceptable in fulfillment of a vow. You are not to present to the Lord an animal whose testicles are bruised, crushed, torn, or cut. You are not to sacrifice them in your land. Neither you nor a foreigner shall present food to your God from any such animal. They will not be accepted on your behalf, because they are deformed and flawed. Then the Lord said to Moses, When an ox, a sheep, or a goat is born, it must remain with its mother for 7 days. From the 8th day on, it will be acceptable as a food offering presented to the Lord. But you must not slaughter an ox or a sheep on the same day as its young. When you sacrifice a thank offering to the Lord, offer it so that it may be acceptable on your behalf. It must be eaten that same day. Do not leave any of it until morning. I am the Lord. You are to keep my commandments and practice them. I am the Lord. You must not profane my holy name. I must be acknowledged as holy among the Israelites. I am the Lord who sanctifies you, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord. Leviticus 23. Then the Lord said to Moses, Speak to the Israelites, and say to them, These are my appointed feasts, the feasts of the Lord that you are to proclaim as sacred assemblies. For 6 days work may be done, but the 7th day is a Sabbath of complete rest, a day of sacred assembly. You must not do any work. Wherever you live, it is a Sabbath to the Lord. These are the Lord's appointed feasts, the sacred assemblies you are to proclaim at their appointed times. The Passover to the Lord begins at twilight on the 14th day of the first month. On the 15th day of the same month begins the Feast of Unleavened Bread to the Lord. For 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. On the first day you are to hold a sacred assembly. You are not to do any regular work. For 7 days you are to present a food offering to the Lord. On the 7th day there shall be a sacred assembly. You must not do any regular work. And the Lord said to Moses, Speak to the Israelites and say, When you enter the land that I am giving you, and you reap its harvest, you are to bring to the priest a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest. And he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord, so that it may be accepted on your behalf. The priest is to wave it on the day after the Sabbath. On the day you wave the sheaf, you shall offer a year-old lamb without blemish as a burnt offering to the Lord, along with its grain offering of 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil, a food offering to the Lord, a pleasing aroma, and its drink offering of a 1/4 hin of wine. You must not eat any bread or roasted or new grain until the very day you have brought this offering to your God. This is to be a permanent statute for the generations to come, wherever you live. From the day after the Sabbath, the day you brought the sheaf of the wave offering, you are to count off 7 full weeks. You shall count off 50 days until the day after the 7th Sabbath, and then present an offering of new grain to the Lord. Bring 2 loaves of bread from your dwellings as a wave offering, each made from 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour, baked with leaven, as the first fruits to the Lord. Along with the bread, you are to present 7 unblemished male lambs a year old, 1 young bull, and 2 rams. They will be a burnt offering to the Lord, together with their grain offerings and drink offerings, a food offering, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. You shall also prepare 1 male goat as a sin offering, and 2 male lambs a year old as a peace offering. The priest is to wave the lambs as a wave offering before the Lord, together with the bread of the first fruits. The bread and the 2 lambs shall be holy to the Lord for the priest. On that same day you are to proclaim a sacred assembly, and you must not do any regular work. This is to be a permanent statute wherever you live for the generations to come. When you reap the harvest of your land, do not reap all the way to the edges of your field, or gather the gleanings of your harvest. Leave them for the poor and the foreign resident. I am the Lord your God. The Lord also said to Moses, Speak to the Israelites and say, On the first day of the 7th month you are to have a day of rest, a sacred assembly announced by trumpet blasts. You must not do any regular work, but you are to present a food offering to the Lord. Again the Lord said to Moses, The 10th day of this 7th month is the Day of Atonement. You shall hold a sacred assembly and humble yourselves, and present a food offering to the Lord. On this day you are not to do any work, for it is the Day of Atonement, when atonement is made for you before the Lord your God. If anyone does not humble himself on this day, he must be cut off from his people. I will destroy from among his people anyone who does any work on this day. You are not to do any work at all. This is a permanent statute for the generations to come, wherever you live. It will be a Sabbath of complete rest for you, and you shall humble yourselves. From the evening of the 9th day of the month until the following evening, you are to keep your Sabbath. And the Lord said to Moses, Speak to the Israelites and say, On the 15th day of the 7th month, the Feast of Tabernacles to the Lord begins, and it continues for 7 days. On the first day there shall be a sacred assembly. You must not do any regular work. For 7 days you are to present a food offering to the Lord. On the 8th day you are to hold a sacred assembly and present a food offering to the Lord. It is a solemn assembly. You must not do any regular work. These are the Lord's appointed feasts, which you are to proclaim as sacred assemblies for presenting food offerings to the Lord: burnt offerings and grain offerings, sacrifices and drink offerings, each on its designated day. These offerings are in addition to the offerings for the Lord's Sabbaths, and in addition to your gifts, to all your vow offerings, and to all the free will offerings you give to the Lord. On the 15th day of the 7th month, after you have gathered the produce of the land, you are to celebrate a feast to the Lord for 7 days. There shall be complete rest on the first day and also on the 8th day. On the first day you are to gather the fruit of majestic trees, the branches of palm trees, and the boughs of leafy trees and of willows of the brook. And you are to rejoice before the Lord your God for 7 days. You are to celebrate this as a feast to the Lord for 7 days each year. This is a permanent statute for the generations to come. You are to celebrate it in the 7th month. You are to dwell in booths for 7 days. All the native-born of Israel must dwell in booths, so that your descendants may know that I made the Israelites dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. So Moses announced to the Israelites the appointed feasts of the Lord. Leviticus 24. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Command the Israelites to bring you pure oil of pressed olives for the light, to keep the lamps burning continually. Outside the veil of the testimony in the tent of meeting, Aaron is to tend the lamps continually before the Lord, from evening until morning. This is to be a permanent statute for the generations to come. He shall tend the lamps on the pure gold lampstand before the Lord continually. You are also to take fine flour and bake 12 loaves, using 2/10 of an ephah for each loaf, and set them in 2 rows, 6 per row, on the table of pure gold before the Lord. And you are to place pure frankincense near each row, so that it may serve as a memorial portion for the bread, a food offering to the Lord. Every Sabbath day the bread is to be set out before the Lord on behalf of the Israelites as a permanent covenant. It belongs to Aaron and his sons, who are to eat it in a holy place, for it is to him a most holy part of the food offerings to the Lord, his portion forever." Now the son of an Israelite mother and an Egyptian father went out among the Israelites, and a fight broke out in the camp between him and an Israelite. The son of the Israelite woman blasphemed the name with a curse, so they brought him to Moses. His mother's name was Shelomith, daughter of Dibri of the tribe of Dan. They placed him in custody until the will of the Lord should be made clear to them. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Take the blasphemer outside the camp, and have all who heard him lay their hands on his head. Then have the whole assembly stone him. And you are to tell the Israelites, if anyone curses his God, he shall bear the consequences of his sin. Whoever blasphemes the name of the Lord must surely be put to death. The whole assembly must surely stone him, whether he is a foreign resident or native. If he blasphemes the name, he must be put to death. And if a man takes the life of anyone else, he must surely be put to death. Whoever kills an animal must make restitution, life for life. If anyone injures his neighbor, whatever he has done must be done to him. Fracture for fracture, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Just as he injured the other person, the same must be inflicted on him. Whoever kills an animal must make restitution, but whoever kills a man must be put to death. You are to have the same standard of law for the foreign resident and the native, for I am the Lord your God." Then Moses spoke to the Israelites, and they took the blasphemer outside the camp and stoned him. So the Israelites did as the Lord had commanded Moses.